I can still feel the marble under my cheek, cold, unforgiving. My body twisted at the bottom of the hospital stairs, my lungs fighting for air. And above me, her face, BRIA's smirk, that smug curve of her lips carved deeper into me than the broken bones. "You deserved it," she whispered. My parents came rushing, not to me, but to her, their golden child, their flawless angel. "It was an accident, right, BRIA?" my mother cried, clutching her hand. BRIA's voice trembled perfectly. "Yes, she slipped. I tried to help." I couldn't speak. Pain locked my jaw, but rage sharpened my mind. What none of them knew was this: the security camera above the stairwell had caught everything. The head nurse had already pressed record. My silence wasn't weakness. It was the beginning. BRIA was always the favorite. I never fought it. I learned early, you can survive in the shadows if you master silence. She shone, I listened. She demanded, I yielded. When we were little, she braided my hair only to yank it hard when no one was watching. She'd push me just enough to leave bruises where sleeves hid them. Then she'd run to my parents, crying about how I had scratched her. They always believed her. But I endured. I swallowed it. Because I thought sisters grew out of cruelty. I thought one day she'd soften. She never did. The hospital stairs weren't the first betrayal. They were just the most blatant. Months before, I started noticing small things: files missing from my desk, emails sent in my name, whispers among nurses when I walked past. BRIA worked in administration. I worked as a trainee nurse. I began to see her fingerprints in every shadow. The final crack came when the supervisor called me in. Someone had reported that I was stealing medication. My stomach turned cold as I looked at the evidence, a neatly typed report with my name signed anonymously. But the phrasing was too familiar, the little flourishes in her words. BRIA. My parents believed her, of course. They always had. I was the problem. I was jealous. I was unstable. But I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I listened. I waited. Because BRIA had just made her last mistake, thinking I was still the silent child who let her win. That night, lying awake, pain burning in my side, I planned. If I accused her, no one would believe me. She was untouchable in their eyes. So I would let her hang herself with her own rope. Step 1, collect proof. Step 2, make her comfortable. Step 3, strike when she couldn't escape. I started recording everything, quietly. Every whispered insult, every threatening look, every falsified report. I charmed the IT technician into showing me login histories. Guess whose ID had accessed my files at 2 a.m.? And then the final gift. The security footage of her pushing me down the hospital stairs. The head nurse, bless her, had seen it all. She slipped me the USB with a single sentence: "Use it wisely." I intended to. I didn't show the footage immediately. That would have been too easy, too merciful. Instead, I let BRIA bask in her victory. She thought I was broken, bedridden, helpless. I played the part. Weak smiles, slow movements, grateful nods. She visited me once, leaned close to my ear, and hissed, "You should have stayed small. Now you're nothing." I just nodded, let her believe it. Meanwhile, I built the web. I forwarded the falsified reports to the hospital board, attaching the proof of her logins. I leaked snippets of her lies to colleagues she thought admired her. I made sure whispers started spreading, not about me, but about her. The footage? I saved it for last. When the investigation began, she didn't flinch. She denied everything, her voice soft and trembling, tears welling right on cue. But then the USB was plugged in. The screen flickered. And there it was. Her hand on my shoulder, her shove, her smirk as I tumbled down the stairs. The silence in that room was thick, her face drained of color. "Bria?" the board chair asked, his voice razor-sharp. She tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. I waited until we were alone. She sat on the hospital bench, mascara streaked, shaking like a leaf. "You set me up for years," I said calmly, "and I let you, because I knew one day you'd go too far." Her eyes snapped up. Fear, real fear. For the first time, she wasn't in control. "You ruined yourself, Bria. All I did was watch." She spat. "You think this makes you better than me?" I leaned closer. "No, it just makes me free." Bria was suspended, then fired. Word spread fast. Colleagues, neighbors, family. The golden child stripped bare. My parents didn't rush to comfort her anymore. They couldn't. The evidence was too heavy. As for me, I healed, slowly. Each step I took was a reminder that she hadn't won. She never would again. I don't hate her anymore. Hate takes energy. What I feel now is colder, cleaner, justice. She smirked as I lay broken on those stairs. I smiled as she watched her empire collapse. We're even now. At least,